Good afternoon, Your Worship.
Good afternoon, Council.
Shall I introduce myself and my young colleague?
You may.
My name is Martez. I appear for the prosecution in the case of Billy Canal, and my colleague, Edwards, appear for the defense. Shall I proceed on my
You may
case?
proceed.
Your Worship, according to the Bail Act 1976, a bail may be objected to if there is risk of reoffending, interference with witnesses, and reoffending. The first point, absconding. Looking at the seriousness and the nature of the crime that have been committed by the defendant is a very serious one, ABH. It leads to up to 5 years imprisonment. This may increase or will increase the chances of absconding. Second, there is some risk of interference with witnesses, and that will pervert the course of justice. The prosecution is fearful about this. Third, reoffending. Bill, the defendant, is associated to a very, very dangerous gang member called Archangels. Being a member to such a group, it will increase again the chances of reoffending, of committing crime again. Looking at the defendant's previous conviction, in the last 2 years, he had convicted twice of an assault, and in the last 6 months, he was also convicted of a theft. And today, before the court, he is charged with ABH. It's a very serious one. It may lead to up to 5 years imprisonment. There is no signs of rehabilitation. There is no sign of guilt or even not reoffending again. On top of that, the prosecution failed. On top of that, Your Worship, the defendant failed to surrender to a custody. All these tells us that the defendant might not appear before the court again. So, to sum up, Your Worship, the prosecution is fearful and fear again of absconding, of reoffending, and interference with witnesses, if you will, Your Worship. For this reason, the prosecution will object firmly to any kind of bail, conditional or unconditional. And kindly, the prosecution solicit the court and Your Worship not to grant Billy Canal a bail. And with that, I would conclude, and I will take your further question, if you may. Thanks.
Okay. That was better.
Shall I stop it?
Just